All right. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Real Stocks. Ten percent, 10%, 10%. And 10.78. About 11. This one was big drop at 18%. Happy New Year, Michael. Well, that's tomorrow. Can't say that till tomorrow, and we're not going to be here tomorrow. So say it today. Happy New Year. Yep, New Year is upon us. Will it bring with us a new stock market? We shall have to wait and see. I shall have to wait and see about that one. But a little gap up this morning, about 1% higher than NASDAQ. A crazy choppy session. Was that Friday? I don't even know what day it was. Yeah, I guess it was Friday. Down, up, way down. And then only to close somewhat 0.7-ish percent lower on the day, which for what we've done lately, not too bad of a session. Not too bad at all. Hold on a sec. So, there we go. Clear sinus is always good. And we jump up overnight a little bit just after the futures reopen for the next day. Looks like we kind of maintained that throughout most of this session. So there's a little gap up. We kind of held up here. We'll see what happens. Today is kind of considered a holiday day, even though it's a full day. You have more people, taking off Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's. Won't be in full market swing probably until Wednesday. But there'll be some traders that even take off all of that week too. So we won't probably see full volumes until a week from today. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Maybe everybody's back in full swing. I don't get to know the vacation schedules of too many people. So, all right, let's take a look at some pre-market movers. See if anything's moving today. Gold and silver prices looks like they fell a little bit. What do we got? Safety Group. Let's show it up here for you guys. Safety Group, Discover, Floor & Decor, one share traded. That's good. Up 15% with one share traded. That's going to hold. Ring Central, Dell. Oh, they're back public again, huh? Campbell Soup up 10%. Go buy yourself some soup, guys. Natural gas looks like they jumped up a little bit. On this downside here, S&P. That's probably a bear one. Oh, DRIP. Can't say if DRIP's what I think it is, but okay. American Midstream. Market's going to open here any second. Look at a couple of these. EYPT, CYD. Yeah, nothing on that pre-market movers list super exciting. Jumping up on the open this morning, we got Goose up 7%. What does that look like on the daily? It looks like way up here, about the 10-day moving average. AMRN, Twitter, NetEase, OGRMF here, 5N, MMNFF. Team doing really good up here. Team looking excellent, I will have to say. Three nice green days right there. Volume isn't really what we'd like it to be, but at least it's not really selling off anymore. But Team doing pretty good, overcutting a recent high. See the market recently went red on its opening candle. But yeah, I do like Team. Team looks pretty good. Twitter, NetEase. Continue with the red open. All right, Goose still on its way up, though. That's good. AMRN, Team. This Team chart looks really nice on a weekly. I think they did a Fibonacci retracement. Fibonacci time extension, spiral, extension, retracement. There we go. And we're back up. Funny how that works. Okay, so 50% of the handle is above the 50% line here of the cup base. So it's a valid cup with handle, just looks sloppy. It's valid though, and its breakout point is right there. So not really moving so far. A lot of people getting pretty bullish based off this action. Probably even bullish than we were before. Everybody wants the market to go back into bull mode. At least retail trader wise. Some of the institutions may have other thoughts, but all right, Team looks like holding steady right at the breakout point. Volume, very okay, 79,000. So Team could be doing very well. Let me go ahead and mark that guy up. Where'd it go? Where'd it go? It just moved on me. There you go. Okay, Team's on my list now. Here, MDB. See what IBD has to say today. Upside futures ease from highs, the upside of a stock market down year. I'm assuming you're talking about looking for leaders in a down market. 5 sector leaders are building possible basis. I already see Team on that list. Atlassian, which is Team. Yep, there's Atlassian right there. Let's look through this list real quick while the markets are oscillating. So we got best looking sector leader specimen is Atlassian Team. Shape with a cup handle base at one point trading a hair above the 89.92 proper buy point on Friday. Stock markets dip into bear market status. Thanks, IBD. It resets the base count on all stocks. Okay. I forgot about that. We haven't been in a bear market for frickin' 10 years. Forgot that rule. So this would be a first stage base. Otherwise, it would be a 4-stage base pattern. I think we discussed this the other day. So if stocks do break out, could have room to run. Okay, cool. That's great. Salesforce. So a cup portion of the base is formed. Where's the handle? Offset to some degree by the cups handle formed entirely above 10 week. I don't see a cup with handle here. Where's your breakout point? This would be really low. Oh, so you're not going to call it a flat base because it's bigger than a 15% move. I see. ServiceNow. Okay. Yeah, absolutely the best one is Team. I would agree with that. So team right there, one of the best charts in the market, bar none, in my opinion. We haven't seen too many that good. Goose is way down here. So, not sure if that's... Yeah, I'm not going to look at that. You don't want to talk about bottom buys. Not like that. Amazon looking okay down here. Looks like it's retracing a little bit. Nothing major. Volume declining on the way up. Not what you'd like to see ideally. Doji Day right there at that higher volume holiday. And then continuation. Kind of a weird nothing Doji Day. So obviously that needs to stay elevated. Let's see what Tesla's doing. Green after a big run back down to 300. And so far so good. 337, up about 10% from those levels. Pretty healthy volumes throughout on Tesla. So that one's still looking pretty good. Really good in my opinion for longer term holds. Look at Twitter, which was decimated based on the short report by, I forget the firm's name. But looking like a bit like a bear flag here, not necessarily like it's popping right back up. It needs to get going pretty soon. Otherwise, the best case we have, I think, is it just chops around down here. If that Citron report FUD can go away. What else is on my nice list? AMED. AMED on my nice list, but not really acting so nice. Eli Lilly's still been holding up in this very, very strong base. Just been holding super tight. In terms of a bear market, you've got this whole thing only down about 10%. This is definitely considered a flat base. That would be a false breakout. That would be your new breakout point in this flat base. And so Eli Lilly's still a leader, still contending, but just market not participating. We talked about BITA down here at lows. Looks like it's pulling back a little bit. Doing okay. Good day on Friday, though. Look at that. Big breakout day. Volume was pretty good. Definitely would like more elevated volume on a day like that. Pretty much broke through the 50 and the 200-day moving average almost on the same day. Well, I guess it was above the 50, but broke above the 10, the 200 almost on the same day. That's not bad. EEFT. Yeah, still not really over that trend line. Not super happy with EEFT. Broke late. Held up better than most, as a matter of fact, and then finally broke here towards, looks like December. Everything broke in October. This thing broke in December and just fell apart. So that's always a danger in bear markets, is trying to take positions. That's why it's hard to take positions. This one was holding up so well. I actually bought into this. It's holding up really good. The numbers are good. And on the breakout day, it sold off. You never can account for some stocks sometimes. I mean, pretty good volume on the way up. Look at that day right there. Big green volume day. And then setting up to break out. It breaks out. Volume is pretty good right there. Look at that day. Good volume. And then it started reversing. Tried again, and then just never recovered. It happens sometimes. Hold on a sec. All right. Another reason why it's important to have your stop losses in place so you don't lose exorbitant amounts when you have these kind of reactions. All right, NASDAQ holding pretty strong. You saw a big break right there. They're still fighting this market. Still being fought off. Look at that right there. Oh, big sell. Fully retracing that previous candle. And see it get popped right back up. So still a choppy market. We're still looking for that follow-through day. So again, a follow-through day is after. So this is day 0. Now we can't look on the futures because it trades 24/7. But the bottom day is day 0. The next day is day 1. So day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4. This is the first day that could be a follow-through day. And it would have to close up about 1%, about here. And the volume would have to be above the prior day's volume. And so that's what we're looking for here. Higher volume day up here where it closes higher. That would be a sign of institutional accumulation. I already have a little bit with these bars right here. And we'll see if that continues, if that's good enough. Oh, there's my browser window. Wondering where it went. I lost it. I lost my browser window. Has anyone seen it? All right, service now. Futures rise solidly, but here's a stock market reality check. Steer clear of Apple and other broken down former leaders. Apple stock has lost 1/3 of its value and needs serious repair. Yes, it does. 2 days isn't a bull market. The stock had to bounce. At some point, the S&P fell 1.5% or more for 4 straight days through Christmas Eve. The prior 2 times the benchmark gauge had done that, it rallied at least 5% in the following session. On the day after Christmas, S&P rallied 5%, its best gain since March 2009. Most of the great one-day gains come in stock market corrections. Those are often bear traps to lure investors back in before the market correction tumbles to new lows. So, yep, definitely cautionary up here. Looking for a follow-through day. Nothing is for certain. All right. And not much to do here today until we get a follow-through day, or we get out of ranges. We're basically looking for a follow-through day. Ranges don't really matter at this stage of the game. We have noted a few bullish charts. Team being the best one out there, is from what it looks like right now. Of course, that one could falter as well. You never do know. You never do know. So team not really rallying here at the buy point, kind of fizzling out so far. I think that's really one of our leaders right there. Let's look at the fundamentals on team. You explain what happened in the last hour on the TQQ last Friday. Oh, that? Well, that happened on everything. That was a sell-off. That was your Friday end of the week sell-off is what that was. So that could have been profit taking from this run-up. That could have been them exiting some positions from up here. That's fully possible. From 30 to 38 is a pretty good gain. You're talking 20+%. So that could be just some profit taking. And that was the high of the day, and it closed all the way down here. So, I mean, all the indexes had this sell-off at the end, right at that 10-period moving average. So, it does show they're still selling in the market, if that's what you're referring to, is this. Everything did that. The whole market, it wasn't just TQQQ. The Qs had that. You see right there, there's the sell-off. I'm sure the SPYs had it. SPYs had it right there. Russell doesn't have volume, but you can see it had a big sell-off towards the end of the day as well. So pretty normal action, I would think, after a big rally like that. exit at 330 for TQQ. TQ is not that high. I'm not sure what you mean by F, and I'm not sure where 330 comes in. You're above 33 bucks. I'm not sure what. If you want to explain that a little more, Michael. And Ford, F is Ford. That's above 330. Wow, Ford's not looking too hot here on the daily. It broke down a long time ago. What's GM doing? GM down pretty low too. Oh, Toyota's TM. Okay. Yeah, I remember Toyota at the beginning of last year on that huge run. I was looking at this. I don't think I traded this at all. I think I was looking to, but it was just going up too weird. Then it just kept rocketing, and then it went up here. I was looking for it to form a base, and it just failed. Just really failed after that. Oh, 3 o'clock. Gotcha. I'm not sure what 330 would have been. In Arizona, this is 230. There's a 130. I don't remember. When does the market close? Opens 7:30, so it closes at 2:30, which means you're at 4:30. So you were gonna sell right there. 12 would be 3:30, I believe. Anyway, yeah, that's okay. I mean, we're still 1% up on yesterday, so we're actually right here in comparison. So if you do want to sell, you have a good selling opportunity right here. There's nothing wrong with selling here in my mind. If you want to get in on this run, take some profit out. So you can see where the red is right there. Well, if Amazon takes another leg down, the market will probably take another leg down. I think we may retrace and test that low. And unless we get another, we need to get a sideways consolidation, then some move higher. Until then, we're just in the same old of bounce and fall, bounce and fall. We have like 1 or 2 day pauses, and then we just continue falling over again. So bounce for a couple of days, pause for a couple of days, bounce for a couple of days, fall. That's been our pattern. We need to see if that continues or not. Now we are above the 10-day here, but we have been above the 10-day here in the past a couple of times on Amazon. So it's fully possible that we can come back and retrace lower. We have a trend line here, which is this longer term trend line on Amazon. I don't think anything's wrong with the growth rate on Amazon. You know what? Let me look at it in IBD. I was going to go to FinViz, but I never did look at Team. Let's look at Team, then we'll look at Amazon. Is it more likely to go lower? I think it's likely to retest the lows. I mean, here's the thing is we're not confirmed in any kind of a bull market yet, so your impetus has to be to the downside. I don't think you can really safely take positions in names like Amazon or Apple. But again, Amazon is still in its growth stage. Apple, I don't know if Apple's in its growth stage anymore. It's still growing, but not as big as it used to grow. So Apple may peter off, and Amazon may take its place as kind of the leader in the market. We saw a little bit of the shift of the guard here recently in terms of the market highs, and Amazon and Apple being up there at the same point. But I don't think you can necessarily assume that Apple's coming back. I think Amazon will come back. I'm not super sure about Apple. All right, so Team Atlassian actually has a 99 composite rating, which is excellent. Doesn't get any better than that. Yet it's fourth in its industry group. So let's look at this real quick. So here's Team Atlassian 99. That's the highest rating. And then we have 54% EPS, 61 EPS change current quarter. So that's increasing, which is good. 4 consecutive years of EPS growth. Lots of green. 3-year EPS growth rate at nominal 23%, which isn't bad. ROE is a little low. Lots of green dots. 6 quarters of increasing fund ownership. B minus. 20 billion. Plenty of room to run. So that looks really good. Let's take a look at Amazon. 82, which is not bad. Group rating's horrible, but this is Amazon. EPS change last quarter 1,000%. They're finally keeping some of their profits, it looks like. Last 3 quarters, 700% EPS change. Current quarter, 158%. 3 years growth rate, 110%. In comparison, I mean, Apple's going to be like 32, which is still excellent. Pre-tax margin is garbage, which we all know that. Which means ROE sucks too, but the stock market performance has been keeping that higher than the pre-tax margin, which is fairly, I haven't noticed seeing that often enough. Accumulation distribution is a D minus. Up down volume is a 0.7, which is pretty low. Everyone already owns the stock. I'm not sure who's left to own it. Just more institutions buying more of it. Let's look at Apple for a second. 71. 41% EPS. So still growing really well. Earnings revisions have been down. That's usually not good. 3-year EPS growth rate is only 8%. See, that's the major difference there. Is kind of, if you look at the bell curve, which my mouse is doing a bell curve, I think Apple just hit their peak this year maybe. We'll have to see if they can pull another rabbit out of their hat, but I'm not sure. Their Mac sales, I think, are continuing to increase. Pre-tax margins excellent. ROE is fantastic. Accumulation distribution rating of E. Look at that. 0.6 up-down volume. And no one's increasing positions in Apple, except for Berkshire Hathaway. They do pay dividend now, so not that Warren Buffett specifically likes dividend-paying stocks, but probably could be advantageous for a guy always looking for more cash. So I think there's the major difference. As you have Apple essentially flat with its earnings, revising slightly down. 3-year EPS growth rate's only 8%, so that's not very good. Amazon was much better. But in the short term, look at that big drop on the indexes right there. But yeah, Amazon definitely could take another leg lower. We're not out of the woods yet by any stretch. So just took a leg lower. We have quite a bit of movement here to the downside, and I talked about this. We could chop around and remain healthy down here. At some point we will. About 9%. Actually, to the downside would be 8.24%. At some point we're gonna go sideways and chop for a little bit. We've been looking for that. It just hasn't really transpired yet. Nothing up here really screamed support. I was trying to maintain a positive attitude, but don't necessarily have to take positions. All right, what do we got here leading us so far today? We got new, which is a new issue. I don't even know why I have new on here anymore. I'm just going to take it off. Seems like it's never had a green day in its life. All right, Goose all the way. Goose undercutting everything, completely resetting the base count. We'll wait until that forms better patterns. And MJ stock, CRISPR, still lower. MDB, still kind of in the middle of its base right here. GDS, Weibo, Alexion, Regeneron, holding up pretty good. BIIB, all pharmaceuticals. And already continuing lower a little bit here in the future. These are the NASDAQ futures. but indexes undercut the lows of the overnight session. Usually not a good sign. Volume's already a little bit lower than Friday. Look at that. So are we seeing holiday volume today? Probably. Probably with tomorrow being New Year's Eve. Do you see inverted cup and handle on AMD on the daily weekly? Let's take a look. Inverted cup and handle. We don't talk about those too much in the stock market. Those are kind of been a thing in crypto, and it kind of makes sense if they're trying to distribute. So the daily here, there is definitely I would consider this an H pattern more than an inverted cup with handle, but you could treat them the same. H pattern, I guess in theory, H pattern would be a inverted cup with handle because here's the downtrend, then you have the cup or the H, and then I guess that would be a little handle right there on AMD. Now I think AMD and Nvidia are being hit partially by the cryptocurrency bear market and kind of the miners really slowing down. I think that could be a big hit to their business. A lot of this pump probably could be due to cryptocurrency sales. I think some people may not believe that, but it's pretty prevalent. I think it was a big rush right there. And the stocks benefited, now you're seeing the inverse reaction. And market's already bouncing back a little bit there. So holiday light volume, seeing some choppiness right there. Let's look at NVIDIA. NVIDIA way lower from 300 back to 134. That's a huge drop. Huge drop. No major buying volume down here in NVIDIA. Even if the market comes back, we'll see what happens with NVIDIA. Maybe those earnings are a little inflated with crypto. So what happens is they like to see the, they like to see steady growth. They like to see certain things. 85 cents, $1 in earnings, 133 in earnings, 172, 205, and then you start to see a slowdown, 194, 184 with the bear market, and crypto sales basically going away for the most part. And so they're probably anticipating, and it kind of caught them by surprise. You see how abrupt the drop was. I think that caught them all by surprise. That's why NVIDIA is not really coming back. Probably why AMD looks so bad as well. Tilray looks like a great short to 50. Let's take a peek here. 74. Nice little bear flag right there, isn't it? Yeah, that's pretty nice right there. Looks like a crypto chart. Yeah, it kind of does. Kind of does a little bit. Let's go. Let's look at that. The marijuana stocks have not been as resilient as you think they would be, but in a risk-off environment, I guess they're considering these risky assets. Clear short down to 50. I know a lot of people have been talking about 60 as of late. I mean, as of late, I saw someone talk about shorting it to 60 all the way up here. But yeah, in this kind of bear flag breakdown, I would wait for the breakdown. If you want to get it high like this, you're going to have to adjust your risk accordingly. So there's a possible situation that we're up here, and if we do get another leg down, this thing probably will get destroyed a little bit further. Question is, can you put your stop? Where are you going to put your stop? That's your main question. So what's your risk to reward? Essentially, if you're thinking of shorting here, there you go. You've got about a 3.28% risk to the high of Friday, which isn't too bad. The question is that the high you need to put your stop at? If you put your stop here, that's about 10%. And down to 50 would be a pretty big gain, about a 33% gain. So maybe a 3-to-1 risk reward on this one if you're thinking it's going to 50. I know a lot of people thought about 60, But now that we're basing at 70, yeah, maybe it'll drop below that, and that could get you down about 30% right there. So maybe 10% risks, so you can adjust your risk profile with that expectation. And then you've got, yeah, if 50 is your target, that could be a really good short right there. It's definitely showing downward bias. There's no doubt about that. So we have the break at the top, we have a consolidation, now we have an actual little mini bear flag. And so, yeah, that's actually wouldn't do too bad. That being said, we got some of these other MJ stocks with big days today. Nothing, doesn't really change the larger picture, it looks like. OGRMF, what's MMNFF? That's another one. These are over-the-counter ones. We have Cron. So Cron up here, this is another NASDAQ traded MJ stock. Been very choppy as of late. We had the big gap up here the other day. Looks like it's fully retraced that and then some. So this could continue lower as well. Maybe that's just another selling event. And then I think CGC is another one. And CGC not looking super healthy. You have MJ, which is the ETF. Looks like it bounced. Came into new lows for the year, which is very weird considering it had new highs really not that long ago. And then kind of a slow mini bounce here. So, yeah, maybe things move lower. Maybe the MJ sector moves lower. It's not really set up to bounce, I will say that. So that Tilray short may not be a bad idea. I don't mind that. MJ ETF. I wonder what's inside, if Tilray's inside of this, or what do they have? Let's see what MJ has, because they're kind of a representation. Alternative Harvest ETF. Nice. Cannabis, alternative marketing and distribution, pot focused ETF to trade in the U.S. Here we go. CGC 10%, Kronos Group, and then Tilray. Okay, and then Aurora Cannabis. So this does have Tilray in it. So I'm assuming that jump was mostly due to Tilray. And so CGC, Kronos, and Tilray, which I think we've looked at those. So there's CGC, Kronos, and Tilray. Tilray probably beating it up the most. It lifted it the most, and then everything kind of sold off at the same time. So yeah, that's a good possibility on Tilray. Everything doesn't really look too bad. In terms of it's going to bounce and go higher, so the sector appears like it still wants lower. And 50 actually seems like a pretty reasonable target. It's not really out of the stretch of imagination. Could end up getting down here to 35. I mean, the way that it's going, fully retracing that breakout. If you look at it, there's your IPO high. So there's your breakout point from your IPO high, and getting down to 34. So getting down to 34 could be in the cards too. You never do know. But that's a pretty good gain if that does break to the downside from there. Not bad. That's a good trade. And the market's already back up a little bit. Not much volume. All right, so we got Team up 2.8%. Well, it's not giving up its position up here right near the buy point. It's not really rocketing either, but it's just not giving up the goat, if you will. Still looking pretty good right there. We need more volume to step in, though. So volume is 300,000 of 1.6 million traded. So 1.6 divided by 13 half hour. 123,000 shares traded per half hour session on average. Close out the first half hour with 300,000. It is the open, so you're going to be a little heavier. So it's not on course for elevated volume. It's probably on course for pretty normalized volume, maybe a little bit elevated. We'll have to see this volume maintained throughout the day, or at least get one or two more bursts of volume coming in before, number one, this is even considered a breakout. Number two, it actually will try the breakout. But it's looking very good here. Looks like cup with handle actually broke that pattern right there a few days ago. That was 4 days ago. So we had 1, 2, 3, 4. So it broke when the market had its big day, and I think that was the day after Christmas. So they're hiding some of their buying in the holiday there, it looks like. And team right there, that's pretty good for the day after Christmas. That's pretty good. That's the day before Christmas, then that's the day after Christmas. So not really necessarily hiding volume too much in that regard, but still good volume on that day. And the nice continuation. This is looking really nice. Looking really nice. Maybe another consolidation. We'll see what happens. Already back down. So, choppy market here today, guys. Again, we still kind of have a bit of a holiday session upon us, being New Year's Eve and everything. So, so definitely choppy this morning. We've been a little up, and now looks like two kind of little legs to the downside. 10-period moving average right there. We're above it, but barely. We're barely holding on by the skin of our teeth. And if we don't turn around, and then we'll end up much lower here. So, all right, guys. Unless you guys have any questions, I think I'm actually gonna go a little bit early today. Not really though. I started a little bit late, which is why it feels like early. But I'm gonna get out of here. Yeah, if we don't rebound over the 63.40 level on the futures market, which is just that second low of the day, then that's gonna put in a little top for the market here. Could be. If you notice, we're actually stopping here right at a prior low. Right there, haven't even quite touched it yet. We need to get above that, I think, to really consider this a healthy reaction. So. Yeah, wait a little bit if you guys have any more questions. Otherwise, I will. So the market's closed tomorrow, so I'll be back here on Wednesday, and we'll see what kind of weirdness we get on Wednesday, and hopefully, what's a full trading day of the new year. Hopefully, we'll get a full new trading day. And yeah, MW, you're welcome, my friend. Thanks, guys. Appreciate you being here. All right, see you guys tomorrow. I guess not tomorrow, Wednesday. See you on Wednesday. Hopefully this doesn't turn into a huge candle. Bye-bye.